Everyone's being used in the right way with Tay on the engaged CC, Desamas active jungling, and the carries lined up. This could be a team with one of the clearest identities of any of them, and might be able to leverage that particularly well. As we have stepped forward into the champion select, of course, Azir has been locked in B1 for House, which is the correct position, in my opinion, for Azir for House. This guy is just too good, and I'm glad to see they've gone back to Axe.
Yeah, I'm happy to see this as well. Netsuno and Ranger are going to be picking up Felios and perhaps something engagey for Ranger as well. Oh, the Sejuani actually going to pick up early for NL there. So making sure he gets his Sejuani duty out early and they're not able to take that away. I know we talked about that a little bit when we were prepping for this. Is like, hey, there's maybe like an area here where Fluxo tries to ban out NL. Hey, maybe that happens. But this area locked in for Brunsey, and already, I mean, this looks like Exodia for Fluxo. You know, given our analysis in the pre-show there, they wanted the Wukong for some engage. They wanted House on Azir, and they wanted Zeri for Brunsey, and I think they just got all of that in this first part of the draft.
This has been a very expected draft so far for game one of the day. Yeah, this is literally the exact comp that Fluxo rolled out for us so far yesterday, and it was very, very good. Brunsey's looked insane on Zeri, House great on the Azir, the Psalmist back on the Wukong that's given him 2 wins in a row. But for Loss, it's also still, it's a very 13-11 draft we've got from them. The Sejuani jungle back on the Aphelios in bot lane, which has fallen out of favor just a little bit on this patch, but still very strong. And then the Ahri picked up for Lava. So this is kind of what I want to see people doing into Ahri personally. If he's just going to pick this champion that clears the wave, doesn't have too much kind of pressure there, that's not like an Annie where they can flash kill to set up for junglers, just pick a scaling mage, pick a Azir, and just farm up and be a demon later.
Yeah, I agree with that as well. I feel like a lot of international play is seeing Ahri as this champion that can roam around, and it plays like an assassin, right? But the way he played at CBLOL is just kind of a scaling mage that is really safe because it has a bunch of dashes, which is kind of lame because you can pick better scaling mages. There are lots of them out there.
Yeah, there's plenty of fishing to see in that regard. As we get to the second round of the bans, just to check in on the bans generally, it has been very as expected. There's not really anything out of line here. The Gwen banned away from Boaldo by Fluxo. It seems like they're trying to deny Loss getting another carry on the field in that top lane. As the Nautilus ban as well taken away from Ranger. He's been going back to that one more than once, and it's a pair of support bans for Loss. Now, all the main enchantments have been taken away. The Cassandra comes back up. And this is, again, something that the CBLOL has had its problems with.
Don't do this now. Now, this is one of those that comes from, like, the spreadsheets backwards, so I guess you would say results-based analysis, but Cassante isn't good. He doesn't win games, and winning games is what you do playing for. So why would you pick it, right? Malphite, much better win rate, much more, much simpler win conditions, I would go ahead and say as well, and then Rel coming through. Not Rungle, not Rel Jungle, but a little bit of Rel for us here on the top side. Man, I keep looking at this comp from Fluxo. This is it's so good. Where does this comp fail at anything? I think it just does everything really, really well.
It's got great engage, great scaling damage. Like, it has options to try and force. It's got scaling later in the game as the Renata rounds it off for Los Grandes. So it is to the sort of semi-enchanter down there. 4x4, give us your opinions here. Do you think that Fluxo have achieved the draft Exodia here?
I mean, what I was going to say, and I muted myself because I knew I was going to yelp at certain points during the draft, but I was like, wow, you guys are such good analysts. Apart from smelling good and being handsome, you guys know a lot about League of Legends. Like you said, you kind of got the Exodia draft here, and you got JoJo on an engage. Like, the only thing I would have said a little differently would have been like, oh, maybe they go Nautilus for JoJo, because that's a champ we associate just wholeheartedly with him, right? When you guys are talking on the pre-show, like, JoJo and Redbird kind of used to be this big 1-2 of these engage, fight, kill lane, roam supports. But they banned it out, and Tay going to be on the Malphite. Good backline access as well. Yeah, I'm a huge, huge fan of this Fluxo draft.
Yeah, it's looking very, very solid right there. I particularly want to see if Fluxo... This is the tools that they have now to actually get one of those cleaner, quicker wins that Axeman was looking for, right? You said you wanted them to maybe end out the game a little faster. Now you've got Rel and Malphite and Wukong. Like, you can start a fight whenever you please. Yes, your carries are a little bit more late-game focused, but Axeman, do you think that Fluxo have kind of indexed into this? Do you think they're actually going to be able to give us a cleaner game today?
I think so. I think they absolutely are. I think at some point a cleaner, quicker game evolves into just the ability to end fights out quickly, and also start them with confidence too. I think they have tons of engage tools, just like you mentioned, to start the fights, and lots of burst damage as well, which is going to help them end those fights out quickly. Snowballing is all about, once you get that ball rolling, it's all about just deleting the carries, deleting champions, and moving on and picking up those objectives, rolling that ball into the enemy nexus as quickly as possible. This comp does that. It does that really effectively.
It certainly does. We're heading into it. Game number 1 here in week 3, day 2 at the CBLOL English. Fluxo taking on Los Grandes. Both of these teams trying to assert themselves onto that top half of the table. Fluxo with the draft pick Zodia, Lost with the most 13.1 draft of all time. Let's see if they're able to stop the Fluxo surge here as we go into a nice, calm, relaxed 5-point on the other side.
Yeah, just a nice little 5-point. Nothing too big to worry about. Both sides going to chill out for the time being. Glacial augment for both supports. Nothing too weird in the runes. This might be one of the first Renata games I think we've seen. Maybe the second or the third game. And
I think it was not Frosty Renata maybe, or Seos or something. Right. Yeah, there's been a couple, but not many.
That sounds right, and it is fairly good at stopping fights, slowing fights down. So that will be a tool that Lost can use to potentially slow this game down and get a little bit more scaling in the hands of Netino. They'll be looking for that as much as possible because, like we said, Fluxo trying to end this one out early with How's more of an insurance policy.
Yeah, I think this draft from Los Grandes really does solidify to me that they've got this new jungler and they've got Anel in, but they are fundamentally the same team under the hood, right? They switched out one of the carburetors, but it's the same vehicle going forward. And the fact that we're seeing this draft where it is, once again, it's all about Natuno. This is an Aphelios carries all draft, with the Cassante to run interference, Sejuani, Renata to set up and peel, and then Lava to kind of run a bit of disruption, maybe start fights with the charm. So this is a Natuno carry game. He's going to have to carry if they win this one, and that's worked for them in the past, right? They've got 2 wins. He's currently under a bit of pressure from Jojo and Bronze. He has to flash away, in fact. And the MVP struggling at level 1.
Yeah, 4x4 alluded to this a little bit going into the game, but Jojo being on Rel is enormously scary for Lost. It's a big playmaking champion, and Jojo does it better than any support in the league. He just makes plays on repeat. And even here at level 1, you can see that shining through. Really incredible player, the work he puts into making these plays. Honestly, the best part of the game for me is going to be seeing Jojo getting unleashed from this bottom lane and see him make plays around the Rift Herald, around the middle lane as well, because he does those so well. It finds the angles of attack and uses Hex Flash really, really well, critically too.
For sure, it has been too long with Jojo relegated onto enchanters most of the time, but thankfully Los Grandes banned out all the good enchanters this game, so they forced him onto a fun champion, so we'll have to thank Stardust for that one, I guess, as the Psalmist on Little Invade is going to find Anel in the jungle. He's got the double buffs on the Wukong. Sejuani has to dive away, doesn't want any piece of that action, and it'll be a blue buff for the Wukong now.
Nothing like a little CBLOL hazing, right? Yeah, your first week in the league, and you're going to get level 3 invaded by the Wukong. Yeah, that's tough. Them's the breaks, but Jasamis is going to steal your buff away. Rotate that back down to the bot side advantage. It's not the Gromp 2. Oh, come on. God. He's just a young guy.
Leave him some scraps from the table. My goodness. Desamis, you were that guy just a couple splits ago, but clearly does not remember his roots already. You know, passing that trauma down to the next generation without any hesitation. Takes the bot side scuttle as well. And this is a lot of bot side control from Fluxo, right? Hopefully, we're going to see this turn into that dragon control that you wanted to see, right? The dragon does spawn at 6 minutes. They could just start it up then.
Could just start it up, yeah. I think a 6-minute dragon would be a very mature result for a CBLOL game, that's for sure. But we've been seeing a lot of more really mature early games from CBLOL, which has been really encouraging. As a fan of the league in general, a lot of kills that, or a lot of games that go 13 minutes without kills, a lot of games where the objectives are being taken on time as they come up. Really encouraging stuff across the league. We'll see if we get a little bit of that coming through here in this game. Oh, could be first blood. House takes just so much damage.
Lava managing this early lane very well. Of course, I like the Azir into the Ahri to scale up and do damage later, but in the early stages, Ahri is going to clap you out at every stage. Azir does negative damage without items.
Well, you get assassinated, right? That's no fun. No one wants to be assassinated. We'll see if that already rotates down bot at any point here. Desamis continues to bully the bottom lane. I don't know why I'm starting a bully narrative here. I'm sure Desamis is a great guy.
He's a lovely man.
He's just doing his job, but it does feel like a little bit of bullying. Now they're going to go in here.
Lovely handshake, though, by Ranger to stop out the crash down. Natuno was splashed and ghostless. If he got knocked up there, that could have been the end of it for him. But it is Jojo stumbling away with half HP as now an L has come down to clear out that vision. So more focus on the bot side by Fluxo, but they haven't been able to find a large advantage, as it looks like Bronze is going for the static shiv first. I want to see if he actually goes any more AP items and tries to get some massive W stacks, or if he just goes to normal kind of burst fire focused DPS crit later.
Saying we get the AP Zeri here. I'm excited for it. Lost on the Dragon now. That's a 5:30 Dragon startup. Good for them.
Oh, shoot.
Oh,
yeah. It wasn't 5 minutes, not 6 minutes. My bad. I told a lie there, but it is bot lane focus. It's Dragon focus, just not for Fluxo.
Yeah, I think the Dragon start time might have been season 11. I want to say patch like 6 or something, but I'm not going to put my money on that.
Check that exact number.
Don't check it. No, don't check it. don't do that. Don't do that. Yeah, 5 minutes on the Dragon, and they will take that down. Relatively close response. So good for Lost. They control the bot side in spite of Desamis' best machinations. And machinations? Hey. Who knows? His plans. His plans. And NL is actually going to secure that first Dragon for his team. Good for him.
Yes, as we did take a look at that top side, we saw some trading going on. Tay going down a little bit in the CS department over Boal. This is what we would expect from a Malphite into a Cassante, but Tay has been eternally weak-sided, as kind of Boal has besides that Aurelia game, and I honestly expected this lane to basically just be a war of who can be more polite about the minion wave. Just, you take this minion. No, you take this minion. Please, sir, after you take this wave. And maybe we'll see Boal break out of that shell, make himself another threat like I wanted to see out of Lost, but for now, it does seem like they're just gonna be tanking it up there.
Yeah, just tanking it up, having a good time. Later, we'll see what they've wrought for us. Yeah, I like the CS numbers on the Cassante. God, wouldn't it be great if we had a good Cassante game at a bowl? That'd be awesome.
That'd be great.
Man,
crazy.
Man. Lost finally find their stride. It's all about Bowls Cassante. That's why they haven't been winning recently. We'll trade back and forth in the bot lane. Nothing too big to worry about. Games have been slower, I think, week over week, as teams decide that they're tired of playing things quick and want to slow it down a little bit. I think it's just that there's a lot on the line, too, especially for Lost, man. I mean,
yeah.
You know, you got to stop the bleeding some point.
Yeah, I mean, the setback of having to replace your jungler 2 weeks in, as Ranger kind of said in that video we saw earlier, it's put them into a slow pace, you know, it's kind of tripped them up a bit, it's set them behind schedule on the development of this quote-unquote Split 2 roster, and Fluxo as well had the same line. They said that this was a development they're building to try and make worlds in the second split. Both of them now hanging around the middle of the table, both of them want to start making inroads up to that top half, as this split has so many threats to deal with. Even the usual contenders, the people like Red and Pain and Loud, now you've got to deal with INTZ, you've got to deal with a young Furia as well stepping up. There's so many strong teams that could be the one to knock you out of the playoffs picture.
Certainly, and we're Team Fluxo too, by the way. So
100%.
Like,
we're biased. We're biased on this desk, I'm afraid.
Yeah,
we are.
We're biased towards Fluxo, and we're sitting here saying it's so hard.
Oh, lovely shuffle by House. Trades the ult as an L comes in, and a flash away from the Glacial Prison. The trades are heavy, but no lives will be lost.
Yeah, no lives lost there. I don't think Lava actually used the ultimate. It might actually just still be up in effect. Yeah, there it goes. It does go down. Yeah. While it's active, I think it stays up.
Surely.
Cool. So he does use that. Ult's traded across the board. Really good stuff from House. That's the kind of pressure you have to bring to the table with the shuffle, right? And what you have to be careful of as the Ahri in this matchup. Little disappointed. Wait, where's my boy? Hold on. Is he up there? Where's JoJo right now? Oh, he's in the middle lane. He's in the middle lane. There he comes. Here he comes. Because he's about to make a pentakill play. So that's why
he's about to make a pentakill against only 4 champ. Okay, Natuno is actually up here, and they've opted to leave Bronzy down in the bot lane. So Desamis thought he could sneak away the Herald while Anel went to bot side, but in fact, Lost have just brute forced this, and they will get the other objective too.
Yeah, they'll get the Rift Herald as well in combination. Unfortunately, no play to be made for JoJo there. If there is, they're going to play this one a little bit slower. Back off, concede the objectives, and instead play for turret plating in the bottom lane. and accelerate Brunsey. Honestly, not the worst play, right? I think accelerated Brunsey is probably the key tagline there. If this is another AD carry, maybe it's not as good a play. But yeah, I mean, it's Brunsey, right? I mean, he's the guy. Look at the CS numbers now between the two AD carries.
Yeah, I think that the cross-map objective play
the
by
whole
Fluxo
game.
was to just get plates.
He's got the most gold in the game by like 500. Wow, okay.
Full commit his ult there, but hasn't got too much damage yet. Tay still has the unstoppable force. Doesn't want to commit it. Goes in there for the Q and the E and the W and the slap and a flash and a Q over for Bo, but it's first blood for Tay.
So for me, Trajan, call me low elo, call me a bad analyst, do whatever you gotta say. Kazante's not good. He's not good. I've never seen him in a good fight. Not a level 3, not a level 6, not a level 8, 11, 16, 18. It's always bad. He's never a good champion. He never wins fights in any...
Again, trades ults with the mid lane, and now Renata's there. Ranger gets the berserk with the Jojo, not too much damage there. Glacial Prison again doesn't catch him, but the flash is gone. Disarmist now commits the Cyclone, but just to disengage. A TP in from Boal will put an end to this fight, and eventually House does fall.
Yeah, he goes down. Bull's going to hang out here a little bit. This wave's still crashing up topside. They will use this timer to secure a second dragon for themselves. And Lost look really good, Trajan. They're getting the dragon control down. Brunsey is the only shining star for Fluxo so far. He has a tough way into this particular fight.
Very committing. Oh, Disarmist takes it away. The hazing continues. But Fluxo, can you win the fight off the back of it? So Sejuani is completely removed from this play. Boal desperately trying to high step his way back to the lane, but will be given no chance. Brunsey picks up the kill. And now Fluxo just took this game right back.
Yeah, they took it right back, wrested it from the hands of Lost, and NL had done such good setup, and drops the ball there on the 1 yard line, unfortunately, with the smite. I'm a jungler myself, Trajan. I know how that feels. It is not a good feeling. You gotta, send your love out to NL. He's needing it right now. That feels very, very bad, but extremely good for Disarmist. Let's not forget, this is a proving game for Fluxo as well, trying to separate themselves from the soup a little bit. And this is the kind of play that'll do it, stealing objectives like this that your team has no business fighting over. You look at the teleports coming in here. Brunsey's on the side with the ultimate. This is a miracle play for Fluxo, and they made it happen.
Yeah, you can see that Jojo tried to get in and catch an L on the way back out, but the job has been done, right? Sejuani is out of this fight, and without that front line, without that extra CC, you can see Natuno knows he can't stay around. He can't look for the carry in the fight, and Brunsey gets given that kill. He's got the static shiv ready to go. A lot of powerful items coming in across the side of Fluxo. The Herald is dropped in the bot side. Now, will they be able to stop it? I don't think they will, but did anyone even get any gold for that?
Don't think so. I think if you drop it, you get a little gold. But who knows, right? So, certainly not me.
Hopefully someone got that. But it's
I know
not
Brunsey's
going to
get more.
Plates. Yeah, exactly, right? Again, the cross-map play is just plates for Brunsey. That's the objective being secured by Fluxo here. And you can see him once again still way up at the top of the gold charts. He's getting the kill for himself as well. He's still playing these fights out. Man, if we see the outcome of this game, I might be willing to come over to your side on the Brunsey best ADC.
Yeah, I'm converting people. I'll get you a pamphlet after this game because we made up a pamphlet. Church of Brunsey. Yeah, this spread is a good word of Brunsey, but it's looking for this last plate now. I believe the way that Matt's out is that 2 plates is worth a kill, and he's got a kill and 4 plates. So lots of gold stacked onto him right now. The CS numbers are there too. He's up 30 CS over Netsuno, and 30 CS over basically the rest of the map too. It's just Lava that has comparable CS.
It's a strong start for Brunsey. These scaling carries are going to be getting active before you know it, which is a great sign for Fluxo. It means they can look for these aggressive plays, right? If they've got their carries ahead, they don't have to be scared about committing on a Malphite ult or an Azir shuffle or a Disarmist flank, and that's what I want to see now, right? I don't want to see them slow down. I don't want to see them go into a ponderous mid-game. I want to see them keep that tempo high and try and punish Lost.
Yeah, and this is exactly what I was talking about. Because just like you said, scaling carries, right? You got the Zera, you got the Azir coming through here. The reason I said earlier that Fluxo are going to try and take Lost down early is because they're supposed to be the better team, right? They're supposed to be able to hands check Lost. They're higher up in the rankings. They have better players. They said, hey, split 2's our year. Watch for us. So they should play more aggressive. They should play, all the way to the wall with the energy, and they are doing that here. And it does mean that they're going to be accelerated in the mid game. Just like you said, we don't want them to slow down.
Yeah, it's exactly what Ranger said, right? He said that they respect the individual talent on the side of Fluxo. They know that they're hands check players. They can be the best player in their roles on any given day. If you fire a skill shot, they're gonna dodge it. They're not just gonna eat it. They're gonna try and outplay you, and they have to respect that. Ranger was expecting a tough game. And that is what Fluxo are giving them, with a nice 1,000 gold lead, evened up that dragon stacking, and have been looking to be playing these objective fights better. That's something else that you called for specifically, right? Fluxo playing out the objective setups a little better, making these fights work better for them.
We will do here, JoJo. Look at the plays. Look at the plays. The geometry that's being done right now.
Okay, pressuring ball out back under the tower.
All right,
no hard
build up JoJo too much.
Yeah, we'll give him some time to find that 1v5 Magnet Storm. We'll expect it turned in, you know, by the end of class, but
for sure.
We won't have to call
the
it for now.
deadline is coming. The deadline's coming.
Yeah, exactly. Fluxo pushing into the mid lane, trying to accelerate this one. They won't find a good target. Netuno is on his own right now, but they don't have the vision to confirm that, as now looks like the Samus will be able to get this Herald. Fluxo holding lost down in mid.
Yeah, they're going to hold him in place for a little bit here. Meanwhile, Lava continue to pick up more and more gold for themselves. The CS getting a little crazy, and the structures are also starting to mount up for Lava as well. It's going to be a big Ahri. I don't know if this is necessarily going to be enough. I mean, the assassin gameplay from the Ahri has been quite extreme when they can find an angle, a good angle of attack, but otherwise it's just kind of a nothing burger, right? I mean, just a solo laner that doesn't die as much as other solo laners.
Yeah, we don't really see the one-shots come through as often, especially not with this kind of Banshee's Veil, Everfrost build that is so common, as we've got a full ARAM developing here. Herald and TP committed by Fluxo. They're going to try and break this mid lane tower, then, I guess, head down the river to get this Ocean Dragon stacking. You can see them rotating through. And Lost have to be respectful of the turn that could come around. Do they have vision of this? Do they know what's coming? They might instead just look for the mid lane. Los Grandes are not really sure what their priority should be, as Ty holds down the front line. Samus looking for a flank, commits in goes the Rel as well. Out comes to an Alta Ultimate. They've got the counter damage, but Bronze finds that first kill. Netuno shuffled back, he's into the bailout, but he will not find the kill to survive, and Fluxo just steamroll over Los Grandes in mid.
My goodness me, that's an incredible result here for Fluxo. We knew that Brunsey was way out in front, right? We knew he had the power to be able to make a play like this, but watching it happen, oh, it's an entirely different story. That was wild. We will get the replay on that up in just a little bit. Dragon here will fall for Fluxo, and that will be their second one as well. I gotta say, I had my hopes up. Netsuno is the god of the ocean. I believe Roman culture, so I was thinking, hey, maybe ocean dragons, Netsuno, maybe there's something there. There's nothing there. Brunsey's huge. He's so big. He's just too big. I should have stuck to my Brunsey guns there. He's got Navori quick blades. Here's that replay we were talking about as well. Keep an eye on Brunsey, man. Like, you just watch the man work. The moves are incredible from this player.
You can see that Fluxo at some point, we're just like, we're just going to walk in. We're just gonna step towards you and dare you to beat us in a team fight. They're so committed to this front to back fight, and, you know, House finds his way onto Netuno. I guess that's the one thing that I could say went super badly wrong for Los Grandes, that went particularly wrong for them, was that positioning for Netuno. But besides that, it seemed like they just mashed into each other, and Fluxo was just better.
Yeah, and big team fight ultimates from the solo laners as well. I mean, Malphite ult hurt really hard there. You saw the shuffle from House a little bit there too, dealing big damage to Los Grandes. And while Lava was able to dodge a lot of that, he was the last one left alive. He was alone in his ability to dodge those things. Netuno got ripped apart by those abilities. Ranger, same thing. And even the front line from Lost was torn down by the damage that Fluxo were able to pump out. And there just doesn't seem to be a way for them to get back into the game at this point. They don't really have map control. They don't really have team fighting or like a late game option or anything like that. I think it just gets worse from here on out for Lost.
I think it probably does. You know, the Malphite pick we picked up in the draft is so good against the Aphelioses of this world. When he has no summoners, he has no options, really, you know? In the past, we've seen the Kindred be drafted as a counter to that, but if it's not available, you know, if Enel is stuck on Sejuani duty and he can't pick these niche junglers to solve that problem, then Netuno's kind of left out to dry, and that's what we've seen. This last pick from Tay has been excellent. 2-0 and 4 on the Malphite, 100% kill participation. He's doing a lot of work.
doing the most work he can do. Undoubtedly, Brunson may be in a little bit of trouble. He's going to be fine. He walks right out. Charm goes wide. Need those pick tools to connect if Lost want to have a prayer at getting back into this game, and they have to land on Brunsey.
Pretty much. He is 3-0-2. They'll have to deal with House later, but I think the 2 items Zeri is a bit more of a priority for sure, as House does pick up that turret gold in the top lane. Baron heading onto the Rift, as Fluxo have built themselves a nice lead across the map in gold, in pressure. Got that Drake stacking back for themselves as well, and you can see on the XP level graph on your screens as well. Yeah, you know, Lava's putting up great numbers. He always puts up great numbers, but we just don't see the result. We don't see the outcome come through there, you know? We don't see actual benefit from those numbers.
We don't, and he's not building Ahri like an assassin, like how I imagine you would build an assassin. He's building it like a safe kind of like control mage thing where he's got lots of utility, lots of little tricks built into the kit, but no real solid damage, and that's what you need to bring to the table when you got all this gold. I hate to see that much of the resources your team has garnered stacked onto a champion that just essentially said, hey, let's build full tank, right? Let's see what happens there, because that doesn't make any sense.
He's looking to punish Jojo now. He does have some damage with a nice stasis to keep the Rel alive. Tay on the flank. Lava looking for more damage. Fluxo happy to fight them in this choke. The Tuna with no flash still, but a flash from Ranger gets away and Tay doesn't find anybody. Now he's charmed up. He's in the middle of 5 players. All out removes him from the squad, and it's a step too far for the Fluxo top laner.
Things just kind of miraculously all go right there for Lost. We got a good K'Sante ult, which are few and far between in the league in general, but almost non-existent in this game. And that absolutely doomed Tay, but we also saw everybody dodge Tay's ultimate as well, which seemed a little miraculous there too. So really well done from Lost, just kind of outplayed him in that moment.
Yeah, Fluxo didn't have anyone quite in range for a flash shuffle or a flash cyclone, maybe from Disarmus to follow up. Just a little bit out of sync. And Ty does go down, so it gives away a shutdown, some gold back in the pocket for Lost. They are not out of this one yet. Tuna with some gold of his own. I'm hoping that I'm going to see a Gale Force come on there before too long, because he's got his flashback now. If he has Gale Force, then he can get away from, you know, the Malphite and the Wukong, or the Rel and the Malphite. He has more options to get away from that engage.
If you can build the golden triangle of Flash, Gale Force, and Stasis, I think maybe Netsuno has a shot at getting away from this Malphite ultimate. Otherwise, no shot, no chance whatsoever. You might even go for Zanya's, man. Like, it might be the best option for you at some point, but... I'm
just going to live something. Give me a chance to play the game. Please.
As long as I survive this one ability, I can maybe carry this team. But Lost going to set up around the Baron. Meanwhile, on the flip, Fluxo looking for the Dragon. They're going to take this one down uncontested. Get this. Dragon Soul Point. Uncontested. It's just so incredible to me, Trader. Dragons are so impactful. You look at any spreadsheet, all you have to do is look who has the most dragons, and they won the game like 100% of the time.
Yeah, it's so common to see. And Lost do have all the resources they need, right? They've got all the summoners. They've got second item completes on a Tuno. He does have that Gale Force. They've got mythics across the board. I feel like there was an angle to try and contest that at least, but they definitely didn't feel confident in it, and they'll have to come back in a little under 5 minutes to stop the Soul going down. And we'll have to look for another angle for the time being. Lava and Anel have been leading that charge, looking for engages, looking for picks. Fluxo in the 5v5 straight up has been always coming out on top.
Certainly seems like they're always coming out on top to me. Looking at this vision setup a little bit. Yeah, they're not going to fight over the vision either. Fluxo just kind of walk in, take what they want. You can't really pick Lava in the side lane, which is something we talked about in CBLOL in general, is just solo laners and being able to transition into the side lane. But, yeah, look, I mean, just like that, there's no more red vision on this side of the map.
It's always been a tricky subject, the split pushing in CBLOL, as Lava does get a lot of damage down onto House. In fact, half his HP disappears in front of the Ahri, still with the ult up as well, as Fluxo pressuring into the jungle on the other side. Brunson not quite there, and Lost will give them the space to enter and put down some more wards. Boal now in a possible flanking position. See if he wants to make something of this. Fluxo really just want to get stuck in. Anel is on the side. This is a pretty dangerous choke point, I think, for anyone to be fighting in. Fluxo will now milk back towards the mid lane.
Yeah, I know it's a very dangerous ultimate in that moment. Not going to throw it out. He's going to play a little bit slower once again. It's a key matchup between these two teams. They don't want to mess it up. They want to make sure their moment is perfect. But it will start with that NL Sejuani ultimate.
Okay, knocked up by the Intofo strikes. Be some more damage to follow up with the Cassante. Tanky enough for now. Loss again on the retreat. The Samus over the wall. It does seem like Fluxo, they're trying to keep the pace high. They're trying to find place, find engages, force a fight. But Loss are always peeling back in time, not giving them a good angle, and Fluxo aren't willing to just dive in willy-nilly and just throw the game away. They might have a play here if they can find a Tuna on his own. Maybe a Nell separated out. He dives in, uses that Q, and comes down the crash down. Bransay trying to burn through him. Out comes that Renata ultimate into that jungle corridor. As Los Grandes again with a full disengage.
Yeah, they're able to get away. That Sejuani ultimate not connecting. And the Rel ultimate dissuading any further action from Fluxo. Fluxo just going to start up the Baron instead. They take it down quick. Lava's in the area, though. He's got a killer flank. This is a great position for Loss.
They find a key target. A TP coming back in from Bowl with a fresh item to work with. Mid HP vs Fluxo. If they can find a way onto this Ari, House looks for it. Pops the Banshees at least. Out comes the Moonlight Vigil.
Didn't
find
connect.
a good target, though. Los Grandes are just dipping and diving, poking and prodding at Fluxo, daring them to fight, stopping them from getting a clean take onto this Baron, and they've given up no kills themselves.
Yeah, some ultimates burned for Loss, so they won't be able to fight for the next minute or so. And Fluxo will have the run of the map. I'd really like to see him force the issue here, but they're going to take the reset, spend some gold, get back on the map, and let their own cooldowns come back up before forcing the issue over this Baron. Love to see them turn up the heat, put the foot on the gas and get this game going, because we're at 26 minutes right now, and there's no real reason for Fluxo not to end it out in the next 5 or 6 minutes.
Yeah, they just need to find that catch, that key engagement onto Los Grandes. At least they need to start burning summoners first, right? If you want to take that good fight, make sure Natuno doesn't have Flash or Gale Force both. Try and get a pick onto him, get that summoner back away, and the Dragon could be the ticket for this. 1 minute on the Ocean Soul for Fluxo. They've got that, got the crab sewn up. They've got vision on their side, and Los Grandes know they can't let this one go for free, but Fluxo are daring them to approach.
I'd be daring them to approach. If I were them as well here. There's the engage.
He's in, steps back, a charm goes on to Tay. Not too much damage on either side. Vision cleared out. Fluxo, again, I would say, loosely the victor here. And Los Grandes all the way back to the mid lane. Still 30 seconds on this Dragon, though.
I really love how Ranger, in his propensity to just walk into melee with the enemy jungler, almost like he forgot that he's not that jungler anymore. He can't tangle with those jungle champions. Yeah. I just watched him walk up on Renata, just like face check with Wukong.
House? Oh my god, House! Oh my goodness! Fluxo, we were waiting for so long, and it was worth the wait. What an engage by the Houses here. Quattro from Bransay. I'm sure Adele won't gift him the Penta, but my word, Axeman, what a fight.
So incredible. The shuffle got everybody in the same location, stacked on top of each other. Tay hit him with the ultimate. Brunsey came in, finishing them all off with the damage. They're going to get the Baron down. You have to imagine after that play, Trajan, there's no way out of this game for Loss except through the L box marked with the check. Here's the replay for you. It was all about housing the ultimate here. He cues over the wall, big shuffle. Look at them all stacked on top of each other. Flash, the ultimate from Tay, and everything comes down all at once. All of the damage stacked up. Bowl tries to ult out, but there's no escaping Brunsey.
Bro, did House even have vision of them behind the wall? There wasn't a ward. Maybe the minions gave it, but he crossed a whole screen's width for that shuffle, and Ty was ready. Oh my goodness, Fluxo. One of the most beautiful engages we have seen all split long. And now they have the Baron. They've got the 10-3 lead. Ocean Soul is just a formality, and this should be them closing out this game before too long.
Trajan, Fluxo are so back. We're so
They're
back.
so back. We believe.
Go.
You and I, we were
no
there.
One else.
We believe.
No one else believed, but we believe.
Yeah, and I mean, everyone else had such good reasons not to believe. Let's be clear about that.
Yeah.
But Fluxo are... That kind of play, that kind of coordination is what we have to see out of this team. That's the kind of team fighting that can rival teams like Loud. With a team like this that can pull such great front-to-back proactive team fighting, We just need to see that continuing out of Fluxo as Los Grandes. Now it is up to them to find a way out of this bind against the Soul, the Baron, the Deficit, against everything stacked up against them.
Everything stacked up against them. They're looking for the in-hit. They're going to find it here. So I'm just waiting for Tay to just hit the ult button again and just quadra-kill them. I'm like, any moment.
There's always a chance. There's always a chance with a 3-item Natuno Aphelios that he just wins those. You know what I mean? There's always a chance that he just wins those. And Los Grandes, if they can find a good pick onto Bronce, who does not have, he's got a stopwatch, but he doesn't have a GA or anything, onto House maybe, if they can eliminate one of these two key carries, there is an angle for Los Grandes, but they have to find that angle fast.
And we said it always came down to Netuno dodging the unstoppable force, right? And yeah, I mean, he just didn't dodge it that last fight, and it blew the game wide open for Fluxo. So, you know, maybe if he does dodge it, maybe he has the red-white guns, he can flip this one back around. He's got quite the front line set up in front of him. They just need to play front to back a little bit better. I will say that fight, House is able to take advantage of the positioning there, and that's why he's able to get that ultimate down to have that effect with Tay. It's not just, he could do that in open field or something like that. It's a very specific situation. So if they play better front to back and really set up their formation, that's not going to happen to them.
Yeah, it's just not possible if they cannot get that one set up. The top lane tower does fall. TP into that top side from Lava, getting up from that bot lane push. The last inhibitor alive, Ranger takes a fatty Zeri E, or Zeri W I should say, and goes down to half HP. Once again, they're just brute forcing their way with a Swan down to the Tuno. They're dropping ever lower, and this could be the fight that Los Grandes needed. House with the shuffle, pushes back the front line of the red team. And Lava still looking for damage, but look at this chain lightning from the static shiv from the Zeri ultimate. And Los Grandes, they found what looked like the right play, the minute engaged, the miracle they needed, but the Ocean Souls just topped Fluxo right back up.
It's just way too powerful, right? Dragons win games. Telling you, buy my book. It's called Dragons Win Games. There's only one sentence in the whole book. It's easy to read. But yeah, you can't even begin to state just how important the buff is to this team at this moment, right? If they don't have this buff, they can't lay siege to the base nearly half as well. You know, the game spreads out. Lost gets more chances to make the comeback, but because they don't have those chances anymore, this game will end in the next 2 minutes.
Yeah, it's pretty nuts. Trying to break into this team with the Ocean Soul, with an Emperor's Divide to push you back, Cyclone to slow you down, Zeri just being as mobile, as slippery as this champion is. It's such a tall order for Los Grandes, but they were close. They were close in that fight. It's not impossible. Against triple inhibs, Fluxo should be able to manage the waves to make it nigh on impossible, but we'll wait until the Nexus explodes to call it.
Yeah, you know, we'll give them the chance that they deserve here. Samus going to lead the wave in from the bottom lane here, as House sets up a turret of his own in the middle lane. We'll set up one final fight.
Samus looking for an angle, won't find it. Wait for the waves to come in. No rush for us. A double knockup comes up from Bo out the front line, burning away. Natuno again doing the damage. And Tay ults defensively to safety. He's got that time to heal up though, with the Ocean Soul as before. But it's a good start to the fight from Los Grandes. They might be able to hold the line for just a little longer.
My goodness, the healing on the Tay already is incredible.
Oh, the Samus is in, House is in, they're starting the fight. It's not the perfect engage, but it gets them off the turrets. Bronce has fallen, in fact, to 4 versus 5. That just became eminently winnable for Los Grandes. They find a second, a knockback onto a third. And I thought it was done. We thought the game was over, but Los Grandes will hold that door.
Changing, they exposed the Nexus. It was so close there for Fluxo, and now all of a sudden Los Grandes, they have a way back into this game, and it looks like the Elder Dragon, a minute 30 on that objective until it spawns, and you already see Fluxo trying to get control of that objective. This will be the last shot for Lost. They won't be able to fight with all 5 members. They'll have to send at least 4. Here's a replay on that fight, and again, Bronze getting picked here. In the center of this fight is where it all went south. Tay taking a bunch of damage to the top, has to back off. He's going to survive. He'll heal up and be able to fight later. But without that front line and without that ultimate, things got real hairy for Fluxo.
Yeah, the engage maybe just a little sloppy, a little linear going in here without the best angle. They didn't find the good shuffle in. And you can see Natuno there with the blue gun burning across the health bars of Fluxo. And when Bronze is down, that's such a big piece missing, even with the Ocean Soul. Los Grandes found the window. So, they are still making Fluxo work for every step of this game. But Fluxo looking to get another Baron with re-inhib still down. I imagine that this might be the nail in the coffin. Lost are going to have to find another miracle to keep it running after this.
Yeah, with the Baron, it just is not possible there. Also, weird to note, I think Brunsey had turret aggro from both turrets and ate like 5 turret shots, and that's how he died, because no one actually hit him. It's like looking at the replay like, how did he die? Oh, both turrets were hitting him. That's weird. Okay, so he must have thrown a W or something and just gotten drawn the ire of both of those Nexus turrets. Fluxo doing an excellent job controlling the bottom side. Lost having to push into this is just, I mean, how do you do it, right?
Yeah, they struggled already when they weren't, you know, 5k down against Ocean Soul, but they're going to give it the good old college try this time around as well. Jojo on the flank, Ty on the front line. How's looking for a way into Tuna with no summoners, remember. Watch out for this carry. He needs to do the damage. Jojo's fallen already, and now Lava's into the pit. This Dragon's not even that low. This could get a little sketchy, and El goes in, but he can't find it. How's with the Elder. Clutches it out, and Brunsey goes in aggressively straight into stasis. I think he might have served himself up. Flashes away. Will go down at such a for the Tuna, but House flies in with the shifting sands. The Azir never disappoints. He's so back.
He's so back, Trajan. That's incredible from House. Little kill on the NL from Brunsey as well, and they'll be able to end out the game. The minions are on the Nexus. House just has to walk up and knock it down. Only Ranger can defend, and he can't defend against both. This will be the end of the game. And Fluxo, we're so back!
Okay, my goodness.